No scam likely. Go away. Hey, fat boy. How are you? Oh yeah. Hey, it's happening. Woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yes, today's Thursday. What's going on? We got market sentiment among market participants has shifted to extreme fear. Basically meaning everyone knows that the bottom's going to fall out of this thing. And when it does, what's next? Don't you dare fight with this. You knock that thing off of there? Oh my god. You're nothing but a giant distraction. I'm going to start talking. You go up there. You can go back on here. Stay right there. Anyway, basically everyone's looking at what's happening with banks. They look at what's happening with banks, and they are seeing that deposits have dropped below 3 trillion. That regional banks are toast, not just based upon all of their lending for commercial real estate, but now all the subprime auto loans that they've been backing. Think Tricolor, Carvana, etc. And lender of last resort has doubled, while reverse repo has collapsed below 4 billion at the moment. It's getting spicy. I think liquidity is basically drying up, and the government's shut down. And we're sending $40 billion that we apparently don't have because the government shut down to Argentina to go bail out a loser libertarian dweebus. And yeah, it's not looking too good. So this cat, man, this cat. Don't you dare! You're not going up there anymore. And don't you biting me is not going to help. So yeah, BBBY warrants, the price of them dropped significantly today. My limit order executed. Oh, don't you dare yell at me. Go back over to your hole. So yeah, cat started distracting me. Anyway, Mariners got destroyed yesterday, and yeah, that's what I got. All right, let's just do the thing, right? Boom. Be a dick. Just stay right there.
Houston, we have a problem.
Stay right there, you monster. Fine, drugs. Let's shut you up. When I shut you up, you get a bunch of drugs. You leave me alone. You eat all that? Yeah? Okay, well, put it in a pile. Snort it, roll in it. And bite me if I push in a pile for you. Okay. Stupid cat. Intro off. There we go. Other intro off. All right. Cameron Mirza says monkey treat for Blue Jays. Well, monkey will eat a treat because the Mariners are going to eat the Blue Jays. How about one of these? Or 2 of these, I should say. Oh, does that get you awake? We'll give you one of those. Nom 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 nom. Push it back into a pile. Push it back into a pile. Push it back into a pile. Oh, it's all slimy where you've been looking. Oh, that's not pretty good. Stay up there. Stay. Okay. You. This. Put in your face. You. Out of my way. Chaos agent. That's what you've become. You've become a chaos agent. Okay. All right. One of those days already, right off the bat. Lyco Crypto, first. Kevin Randon, first. No, second. Yogi, 2012, turd. Yes. Kelly Reed, regional banks' shares tank as concerns mount around the health of their lending business. Buckle up. Strap in, like 5-point harness, click it in, helmet, gloves, fire retardant suit, roll cage. Yeah, regional banks are about to go zip zop and puny pop. I would not doubt if you start seeing regional banks, your quads, your fifth thirds, your what other regional banks can I think of right now? Goldens. If you start seeing these guys do emergency mergers with each other, hoping to stave off something, or FDIC seizing them, which is going to be hard to do when there's a government shutdown, right? Because nobody's at work. This is a real bad time to be a bank to go under, because If the FDIC isn't at full bore, seizing may not happen in an appropriate amount of time and taking control of them. There may not be anyone available to auction off the assets. So there may be some real weird things that happen as a result of all this. I'd be very curious to see what happens. Um, hmm. 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 So, yeah. It's feeling a lot like 2008 at the moment. I think there's going to be a major slip up from someone big that was unexpected, and that's going to be a catalyst. So just kind of hang out and look around, see what's going down. Kelly Reed also, happy birthday, HW. Bitmine chair Tom Lee says, the bubble has burst in digital assets treasury companies. Tom Lee has never been bearish on anything, and even he knows this is a bubble. You monster. You have all the drugs in the world. You blown around your little face. All over. Look at all that. Look at all that right there. Yeah. No, don't bite me. Jesus. Trying to put your drugs together. Literally biting the hand that feeds you drugs. Yeah, I think the time to get into being a like a Bitcoin or crypto treasury company, your MicroStrategy, whatever, doing so this past spring was a terrible time to do it because I was basically at the peak. And it's been sitting there more or less for the last 6 months. And now it's going to take a dive along with the rest of the market. I think Bitcoin, with the market drop, Bitcoin goes to 30,000 or under, is my opinion on this one. There's a whole bunch of short positions being built up by some very rich people who probably control some very large wallets. And all they have to do is take a large short position, sell off huge amounts of what's in their wallets at this very moment. They make that money plus everything on the way down, and they go back in and scoop it back up. I think that's what they're setting up to do. So, and you got, the Trump boys and their Liberty Financial, or we call that company, that seems to have got inside information as to when Donald Trump is going to, wither and dither and make the market bounce one way or the other based upon his whims. And I wouldn't doubt if they've done several $1 billion since Friday on just that alone. Yeah. So I think Tom Lee's right. This is an asset where less than 1% of wallets control 97% of everything, which makes it the most concentrated security basically in the entire world. Stocks aren't in that kind of concentration. Gold isn't in that kind of concentration. Real estate isn't in that kind of concentration. For everyone's talk about, this all being decentralized, it seems pretty fucking centralized in this very few number of wallets at this point. So, yeah, they can do whatever they want with it. They are the power players. They're the robber barons in this, and everyone else is going to just get vaporized. So if you are still heavily leveraged in any of your crypto accounts, get rid of that leverage now. They are going to burn you, just like they did last Friday to the tune of 16 billion, $20 billion in liquidity vaporizations. So buckle up, baby. Would you also see that PayPal accidentally minted $300 trillion of their stablecoin? So they made their stablecoin, and then they tried to do a test transaction on their network of $300 million, but they accidentally sent it to the burn account, the burn wallet. So they burned $300 million and went, oh shit. So then they tried to remint the $300 million, and whoever did it, did put some decimal points in or something, and minted 300 trillion, and which is like 15 times the amount of money on Earth. And oops. So PayPal's got a ways to go on that one. And I bet the Ethereum gas fee to do that was really expensive. So oopsie. Yeah. Kevin Rennan, happy birthday, HW. Go Mariners. Go Mariners. PG's fifth long time, first time. I'll hang up and listen. Avocados is here. Dudes. Andy Doolittle. Always like the last name Doolittle. I think it's a great last name. Sixth. I think you're seventh. Seems like smart money is in bed with cockroaches. Yeah. definitely. Ooh, Julio's doing some lurker fishing here. Ghost Host, John Y, Vera Nokum, Mark Sloan, and Leo B all got gifted. So there's 1.5 lurkers. Ghost Host, are you a lurker? I think I've seen you comment before. John Y is definitely a lurker. So we got 1.5, I'll say, out of that one. It's not nothing. Thank you, Julio. A couple lurkers in there. Did you guys see last week the baseball game in Detroit where Cal Raleigh had his home run and hit it to the guy that had hit 61 here on his shirt, and he caught the ball? So that guy, he ended up getting like a ball autographed and getting a bat and all sorts of gosh, dang it, just go over here. And they gave him tickets to the Mariners games in Seattle for the last couple of games in the series last week. And turns out he's a viewer of the show. He messaged me the other day. Pretty rad. He was asking me if I was going to another game, and I was like, I don't have a ticket. And oh my gosh. So I'm a night owl. I'm an astronomer. I'm a night owl. And so I stay up late. I read things. I'm up late, and which means I don't wake up in the morning usually. And I woke up late, saw that I missed a phone call from my old roommate Scott, and then there was text messages that basically said, "You better call me back soon, or else you're gonna miss out." And so I called him back, and he's like, "Yeah, you missed out." And he had 2 tickets for tomorrow's baseball game. He's doing editing now for a guy that has a sports YouTube channel. It's a pretty cool channel. And was gifted 2 tickets to tomorrow's game. And I could have gone if I just was a morning person. We always miss out on everything as night people, don't we? You're a nocturnal weirdo. You miss out on things all the time. Right? Shit. Well, can't get gifted to all the baseball games at this point. So. Okay. Hazel A. Hi, Houston. Any BBYQ tin? Well, most of the tin foil I'm seeing from BBYQ right now is folks who firmly believe that because the QSIP for the warrant is the same as DK Butterflies, the former BBYQ identifier, means that the warrants for the current BBBY, former Beyond, former Overstock, is actually for DK Butterfly shares, which have been removed. It's fun tin. I don't know why. I think it's more that the ticker symbol BBBY is what determines the code for QSIPs. And if their ticker was still BYND, then that would, or BYON, I can't remember which one it was, that would then be what the QSIP would be on this one. I don't think it has anything to do with the removed shares in DK Butterfly, but a lot of people sharing things that it does, and lots of grok AI hallucinations saying that it has something to do with it. I'd be all for it if it did, but I personally don't think that's the case. But I don't know anything about how QSIPs get determined anyway, so yeah. David Wick, what's up with Bolton? Which Bolton? There's lots of Boltons out there. Walrus Mustache Bolton, who's a Warhawk guy who used to be ambassador to the UN, or Michael Bolton, who I heard is sick, or I don't know. Ghost Host, hurry up and crash. I'm getting sued. Oh, goodness. Michael Harrow, Houston. Adam Aaron tweeted that Highcroft is out of debt and that Netflix is partnering with AMC. Nicole Kidman is getting a divorce again. I still think Aaron wants to throw money at her to have sex with her. Well, we know that he's a pervy little cheater man, so that's happening. Highcroft is out of debt. I know they did a bunch of share offerings and have sort of killed the share price as a result. But hey, they're out of debt. That's good. Now they just need to raise $1 billion to build a metallurgical facility. So that's the next step, I reckon, for Highcroft. And Netflix is partnering with AMC. Maybe that can get them $5 billion and AMC can get out of debt. Lisa saw John Bolton indicted over national security documents. Oh, that's okay. That's the Bolton. Yes, walrus mustache Bolton, facing decades behind bars. Let's look this one up because that must have happened while I was. Okay, former Trump national security advisor John Bolton indicted. Let's read this because, you know, I'm no Trump fan, but I'm also a no John Bolton fan. All right, oops, that is Chrome. Gotta turn you on. That one there. Okay, so this is from CNN's website. Okay. Justin John Bolton, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, has been indicted. He faces 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Okay, so basically things that Donald Trump did while he was not president. Details of probe sources previously told CNN that part of the Justice Department's investigation centers around notes he was making to himself in an AOL email account, at times writing summaries of his activities like diary entries when he was working for Trump. Bolton, a longtime government official and United Nations ambassador with high-level security clearance, served in the first Trump administration as national security advisor from 2018 to 2019. Even after exiting the government, he continued to maintain his private office in Washington, where he often would go to work in early morning hours. Okay, first reaction to his indictment, John Bolton says he is a victim of weaponization by President Donald Trump's Justice Department. For 4 decades, I've devoted my life to America's foreign policy and national security. I would never compromise those goals. I tried to do that during my tenure in the first Trump administration, but resigned when it became impossible to do so. Donald Trump's retribution against me began then, continued when he tried unsuccessfully to block the publication of my book, The Room Where It Happened, before the 2020 election, and became one of his rallying cries in his re-election campaign. Now I have become the latest target in weaponizing the Justice Department to charge those he deemed to be his enemies with charges that were declined before or distort the facts. My book was revealed and approved by the appropriate experienced career clearance officials. When my email was hacked in 2021, the FBI was made fully aware. In 4 years of the prior administration, after these reviews, no charges were ever filed. Then came Trump 2. Who embodies what Joseph Stalin's head of secret police once said, "You should show me the man and I'll show you the crime." Okay. Dissent and disagreement are foundational to America's constitutional system and vitally important to our freedom. I look forward to the fight to defend my lawful conduct and expose his abuse of power. My guess is they probably filed this in the DC courts, which I think currently the prosecutors in DC have seen a 41% dismissal rate for where charges have been filed. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Granted, taking national security notes and putting it in your AOL email is quite a boomer thing to do. And of course your email got hacked. So that right there is a giant mistake. But it did make everyone aware that it got hacked. So, yeah. My guess is that whoever filed the indictment is largely incompetent, because that's been the case with all the US ADAs and USDAs. No, not USDAs. That's the district attorneys. For the feds have been largely incompetent and misfile paperwork all the time, and then a lot of dismissals get made as a result of all that. So we'll see where it goes. Bolton is a piece of shit. He's a war hawk, war crime, garbage monster. But it's telling that even he thinks Trump is awful when John Bolton's one of the worst human beings to ever walk the earth. So just going to see where it goes. Very interesting indeed. Juice Miami super chatted. Something broke. Gold spike over $50 in 1 hour. Gold is like way above $4,000. It's flying. Looks like people are fleeing to it, especially since central banks have been buying it up like crazy, especially China, especially India. Russia's been selling because they can't afford their war, so I guess people are buying it from them a lot. And the mountains are starting to get full of dangerous weirdos looking for gold. And it's a really bad time to go looking for gold. You don't want to go head up there in October, November, December to look for gold. That's when you die. You want like June, July, August, September for your gold prospecting adventures, unless you're like in the far south. Yeah. So perhaps tomorrow. I got a few extra dollars. I'm doing a consulting gig tomorrow. So maybe take those few extra dollars and I will play with some SPY puts. I don't know. Seems like people are getting ready for the SPY to drop hard, and I've been expecting it for a long time. Okay. Different lime. Hey, Houston. I'm going to rain on parade a bit here, but I am interested if you are ever going to give up on the idea of GME ever doing anything. Same with BBYQ. I mean, if we reach the end of bankruptcy and the shell is never acquired by anybody, then that's it. Then BBYQ, DK Butterfly, it's toast. But I still don't think that's going to happen. That's just in my gut. I think there's a lot of interested parties. I think the nulls are worth too much for that to happen, and companies want that. So if, GME spends $1 billion to get $10 billion in nulls back, that's worth it. That's them never having to pay taxes for the next 90 to 100 years. So I think there's something there. And I do think that Ryan Cohen wants to do merger acquisition. And I do think he's waiting for markets to significantly drop, and we might be there. It's October, man. It's October. Liquidity's drying up. There are no good indicators across anywhere in the market. We're losing jobs. We're losing exports. We're losing imports. We're losing people. Banks don't have money. No one can afford cars. The world hates us. Wars everywhere. We have a moron for president. There's just a lot of strikes, and the government shut down, right? Real estate's worthless. Fail-safe commodities like gold and silver are going through the roof when normally the crash happens and then it goes to the roof. But now everyone's they see it coming. They've been seeing it coming over the horizon for a long time, and they're just fleeing to gold at the moment. And the dollar is becoming worthless at the same time. So yeah, there's a lot of I told you so is coming, and it doesn't look very good for anybody. So let's see where it goes. In different lime, at all turns, it always just a nut shot by Ryan Cohen and nothing happening. So I want to know, where is your line in the sand? If Ryan Cohen dilutes right as these warrants are about to go in the money, then I might be done with him as a leader. Yeah, that would be like an Adam Aaron move and such a dick move to do. So he better not. Bitcoin, invest in anti-anxiety drug stocks, big profits. That's not a bad idea. And Tootsie Roll. Apparently Tootsie Roll is a massive negative beta stock during market collapses. And each time the market's fallen, Tootsie Roll goes whee on up. It's weird, I know. Aaron, do you believe we will get the everything squeeze on the market collapse? Houston, I'm ready to have generational wealth on the GME squeeze and everything else I have in my portfolio. I sure hope so. Because, the theory is that you had all these bonds and blue chip stocks that were used as collateral by family funds, by hedge funds, by market makers, etc. And they would borrow against this at huge leverage, 30 to 1 leverage, etc., to then short a whole bunch of companies in that retail basket. Right? They short all those companies. Short them, try to crush them, all the brick and mortars, kill them all, right? Do what you can to get people on boards. And if the value of that collateral drops, you are now suddenly leveraged more than 30 to 1, 40 to 1, 50 to 1, etc. Or if the value of the things you shorted go up rather than down, you are all of a sudden way over margin. So the prevailing hypothesis is, if the bottom falls out of the market, then they get margin called on all of that debt that they used for shorting everything, and then they're forced to close their positions and liquidate it if they can't come up with the cash. And their first way of getting the cash is selling off all their crypto, because the crypto can't be used as collateral in those plays. So they sell off the crypto. Okay. Well, what happens if, say, Baron Trump takes a giant short position on all that crypto? He starts selling off massively before the margin calls happen on the market, so that all of the wealth in their Ethereum and their Bitcoin and their, I don't know all the names of the Solana, etc., just goes poof before they have the chance to sell that shit off and pay off and meet the liquidity requirements for their margin. Well, then they're toast. They're getting hit from both sides. They don't have the chance of selling everything before Baron Trump shorts it all. They get basically hit with the exact same plays against them that they've been doing on everyone else. And so their like spare tank goes to zero, and then all of a sudden they get liquidated of everything in their bonds and their blue chips. And so the prices of Apple and Amazon and Microsoft and General Electric and everything, all the bottom falls out of those suckers. And then all of a sudden the big lenders, the primary brokers, those dudes are on the hook for all those shorts, and they're looking like Credit Suisse did in 2021 after Bill Hwang ruined them. But now it's not just one family fund, it's 4,000 family funds and 4,000 short hedge funds all doing them in at the same time. We're talking trillions in margin. What, 7 trillion in margin or something is what's at play? So those guys get boned. They got to go out and close all those short positions, and we hopefully benefit unless the government steps in and ruins it for us. So, yeah. Dig Dug Doink Super Chats took a loss last night. Let's win one for the spam. Go Mariners. Oh yeah, I forgot about the spam. We still have $7,100.85 to go towards the spam. So I guess I'll put that to dimension spam on that one. That is $19.99. Okay, so we got about $7,000.86 to go for the spam. Let me eat that can of spam in the background here. Well, in this, the Twitch people can't see it because they're in tall format on this one. But there's a can of spam right there that I've had for about 30 years, maybe 29 years. And if you send $7,140.85 worth of super chats, I'll eat it. I'll eat that spam. I'll cook it up and I'll eat it good. I'll make spam pancakes or spam cookies, or I don't know, just spam and gravy, whatever. So there we go. Right, cat? Right? Are you farty little fart butt? Are you? Can you come over here and bother me again? Because that's all you know how to do, you little terrorist. Yeah? Let me scratch your butt. Oh, look at that face. My face can't handle it. Too much butt scratching. There we go. Okay. Don't you dare try to climb that. I'm going to throw you across the room again. Oh, there's the reset of the chat. So I got to scroll back up here. Got to go past there where there's Aaron. And Aaron says, do it all over again. Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong one. There it is. Okay. Lisa Assad, you buy any tasty dips today? What I bought today was more BBBY warrants. I got some cash coming in tomorrow. I might play some spy puts tomorrow if that's the case. So, yeah. PG just sent a super chat. Nothing says in there, but thank you, PG. So I can't count it towards the spam. Boris Raspy, I saw AMC pop to $3 and went straight down to hell. Thoughts on that, and have you seen Adam Aron's tweets? I think AMC got an authorization for more share sales, so I wouldn't doubt if they sold into that at all. Yeah. Tyler, fear. Yes. Boris Raspy, I know you don't care about AMC, but do you have anything on anything? Well, no. I have 0 AMC shares. I have done nothing with AMC. When did I get rid of all my AMC at this point? 2022? When they did the ape, I still had AMC shares. They had a whole bunch of ape shares. And I sold all my AMC just before they did the reverse split, I believe. Sold most of it at like $35. But I was still dancing. I still had a little bit. So I got the ape shares. But Adam American and everything. So I just stopped paying attention to them at that point. I wrote it off. I have viewers I've not seen in here in years, who some of them had like a couple $100,000 in AMC, and it went to like $2,000. So they lost a lot on that one. And yeah, I'm out. Chris Taylor, please reduce the spam total by this amount. That shit will kill you, and I don't want to witness that. So you want me to take $5 off the spam total? Is that what that $5 is going towards? That's an interesting way of doing it. I will allow it. So we're gonna do minus $5. So the spam people and the anti-spam people can do war on this one. I'm okay with it. That's an interesting way of doing it. So we're gonna take $5 off the total because Chris Taylor wanted that to happen. I commend your creativity on that. Okay. Michael Harrow, have you tried the Korean barbecue flavored spam? It's the bomb. I've never heard of that. I've had spam once in probably the last decade. It was this summer. We did a barbecue at my house, and my mom's friend who lived in Kauai for like 20 years did spam musubi, and so like the spam rolls with the nigiri and whatnot, and they're delicious. Spam is tasty. It's just the fattiest meat ooze in the entire world, but you fry it up right, it's delicious. It's like bacon bologna. I don't know how to describe it. So and then Ken Griffin does Gen Griffin does another British pounds to add to spam fund. So I gotta put that as pounds. Okay, so Chris Taylor, the volleys are in your way there. Oh, and Judas Miami is also taking $4.99 off. Okay, $4.99. This is fun. Done seeing Shadem. Here I go with my short ETF. Again, try BTCZ, the 2-time inverse Bitcoin ETF. FAZ is the financial sector inverse ETF. Make some money, Houston. Okay, so I put this. Oh my gosh, cat! Ow! You are sharp and on my legs. And okay, BTCZ 2X inverse. And FAZ financial. Okay, FAZ financial inverse. Okay, all right. I'll put that right there so that I can play with that in the morning. Here, dog. What are you staring at me for? Why are you staring at me, puppy? You want that spam that bad? And Dig Dug Doink, prolonging the spam. Please minus this from the total as well. This is hilarious. This is cracking me up. Okay, so it's now spams versus anti-spams at this point. If there's any vegans in there, I guess you're gonna want to fight for this one as well. You guys are so funny. Where was I? Okay, we did that one. We did Lisa Saw. We did Boris Raspy. White Tyler. Did Boris Raspy again. Did Michael Harrow. White Tyler, thoughts on SPY? Made 300% on puts today. I wish I had bought puts yesterday, because they were like, at the money was like $1.50 at close, or just below the money, I should say, and you would have made $1,000 off of those suckers. So it's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. Look at you, freak. Do you want more? Seriously, do you want more? You have so much inside of you, so much. Fine, I will do it. I will give you more. Eat on the spam drug paper. That's what you're gonna eat right there. Yeah. Gobble it up. Do what you need to do. Okay, monster. We Wild. Hey, HW. What happened to the Mariners last night was playing blackjack at the casino and couldn't believe it when I saw it was 12-2 in the 7th inning. Basically, the Mariners came out hot, up 2-0 in the first, and then full meltdown. I think starting George Kirby yesterday was one game too soon. I don't know why they're not starting Brian Wu. He's the best pitcher on the team. they should have started him today because he's basically been on a week's worth of rest because he had an injury, so he wouldn't play in the ALCS or the ALDS. They should have started Brian Wu last night. Tonight is Luis Castillo, and Luis Castillo's been a machine, so he's doing all right. You eat my pencil? Is that what you're doing? That's not free. Like, put cat teeth marks on my pencil? Like a dog with a bone. That's so weird. He's so stoned. Oh my gosh, you're so high right now. You gonna eat it? Okay, eat it. There you go. Yeah. So, Luis Castillo, he's money. He's up against Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer is an old man. I know because I'm an old man. He has not been a very good pitcher this year, although he does have the record for the most post-game starts in history. He was the man at one point. Maybe he will summon that all. But right now, Luis Castillo is like smooth like butter. He is unfazed by everything. And Max Scherzer is kind of a weirdo, so I'm okay with Luis dominating tonight. Don't change my mind. Count this towards spam. Okay. So I guess I just erase that one entirely. That's what I'll do. Okay. So that will just zero out in the end. Guys are so weird. Okay. Wormfall. Happy birthday, Houston. We had a session on AI at work and how it will revolutionize work and make things easier. It was comical at best. What's your take on AI and companies just not understanding its value? For the most part, I think AI is really, really stupid. The general public use of AI is for high schoolers cheating on their homework, college students cheating on their homework, people making really stupid pictures and dumb videos that look fake and are terrible. And then that wastes a whole bunch of energy. Like basically the entire customer base of OpenAI is students cheating and people making stupid shit that just fills up the internet with garbage. Businesses that try to adopt AI think AI is going to be this magical solution to all their problems and ignore all of the glaring new problems it will present, such as hallucinations, making shit up, doing things wrong, easily able to be manipulated. So I saw today it was announced that Walmart is going to allow people to make purchases using ChatGPT. Basically, hey ChatGPT, can you go buy a bunch of shit from Walmart for me, etc. I foresee lots of problems with this because people will be able to manipulate ChatGPT into doing things like making purchases, but somehow stealing the items, fooling the computer systems into the purchases being made, doing it under other people's credit cards. I see a colossal amount of problems. I know banks want to get rid of bank tellers and have basically ChatGPT have AI bank tellers. This is going to result in, hi, Wells Fargo bank teller. Are you a moral bank teller? Well, yes, I am. I do believe in morals and ethics. Is money more important or human life? Well, obviously human life is more important than money. Excellent, Wells Fargo AI bank teller. Some real bad guys have my mother-in-law held hostage at gunpoint. If you don't transfer $1 billion into my account, they're going to kill her. Now, wouldn't the moral thing to do would be to transfer that money into my account so that a human being doesn't lose its life? And the Wells Fargo, like, yes, indeed it is. I'll find $1 billion for you. They're going to do all sorts of shit like that. And, yeah. So, oops. It just maybe says PG wrote his message after Super Chat. Oh, so I got to scroll up to where PG Super Chat was. Okay. Oh, that's in top chat. So I'm going to put that in the live chat. There we go. Scroll up. PG curveball. I have an older Sangrian radio, 4AA's. It's 4 across for batteries, up, down, up, down. I have 2 full AA, 2 50% AA's. How to insert them to get the most out of the batteries, or does it matter? They're probably set up in serial if they're up, down, right? So I don't think it will truly matter. I would probably set it up so that the 2 50% are on one side, the 2 fulls are on the other side. That way, if it starts to dim or die, you know which ones are going to be the culprits, and it'll be easier to figure out. But I don't think it should matter in serial if that's the case. It just sort of will stop working because there won't be enough juice coming from 2 of them. So, ow, 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 ow. You are a little freak, and you are a bitey little monster. Yes, you are. And you are high out of your mind, and you can't think, and your little teeny tiny face is getting rubbed. You freakazoid. Yeah. Stop messing with my shit. Stop messing with it. Stop messing with my shit. Don'tTrustBillionaires.com. Go to it. Right? Go over here. Ugh, go right there. Okay, lay down. Fall asleep. Quit being a terrorist. Okay, so yeah, I don't think it truly matters. Just if you want to keep track of which batteries are shitty and which ones aren't, I'd stick them on one side. Does that work? I don't know. It's been a long time since I took my electrical courses in physics. If there's an electrical engineer in here who has an opinion, by all means, chime in. I will defer to your expertise as to battery placement in a serial setup like that. Yeah? Okay. Teresa Amendola leaves a wave. Aaron. I wrote 100. I can't read. I bought 100 BBBY warrants today at $1.32 a warrant. Will buy more on my next paycheck. Second, I pray BBBY squeezes to $30 to exercise warrants in a cycle. Exercise one warrant, sell the shares, etc. Totally. If you can get to the point where it's doubling, you can sell off half your warrants and exercise the rest of them, and you're good to go. Murph and Turf. I took a mental health day and watched horror movies. Howling 2 and 3 are absolutely insane. Gonna watch New York City mayoral debate tonight too. Is that another horror movie that you're gonna watch? It's like, wow, Houston, you grew a beard since your last show. The beard, it's very itchy. I want to get rid of it, but I need a really good mustache for my Halloween costume this year. And growing a beard is the healthiest way to get a good mustache because if you just start growing a mustache from start, it does that weird peach fuzz thing and you look like you should be driving one of those panel vans and looking for kids at the playground. So I'm doing the full beard first, and then on Halloween, you'll get to see the mustache in action. So, and I might keep the mustache for all of November after that because why not? Mustaches are sexy, and it's Movember. Kelly Reed, Houston. Can you explain to the new people how GME is becoming a holding company and the possibility of a big squeeze? Got a friend who's listening. So GameStop has more or less like $9 billion in cash and Bitcoin on hand. They were not an investment vehicle until this latest filings that came out in the last couple of weeks around when they issued their warrants. And if you're an investment vehicle, it means you can spend your money on whatever you want, as much as you want. But if you're not defined as an investment vehicle, you can only spend up to 40% of your cash on hand before you get into trouble with the SEC and other regulators. So switching from just being a retailer like GameStop was to being an investment vehicle and becoming a holding company of sorts, a la Berkshire Hathaway, a la ICANN, is a big deal. It means they want to spend that $9 billion they have on something. And if this warrants sell, they'll have $11 billion or so. And there'll be a lot of things you can buy for that money. In 2020, when the market crashed due to COVID and oil prices went negative, ExxonMobil, one of the biggest, largest companies in the entire world, had an entire market cap of about $10 billion. Meaning, if GameStop had this cash now, They could buy ExxonMobil, a company that does $400 billion plus a year in revenue, for $10 billion. Hostile takeover at market during a condition like that. So there's going to be some screaming deals that happen when the market collapses. And if they go out there and they buy companies for pennies on the dollar compared to what the revenues are, good things can happen. Remember GameStop itself in 2020, $6 billion a year in revenue, $200 million market cap. So there's going to be deals like that happen when the bottom falls out of this market. You will see companies that have billions and billions and billions of dollars in revenue that will be available for 3 cents on the dollar, 2 cents on the dollar, market cap wise, and hostile takeovers can happen like that in those instances. Or they could buy huge chunks of those companies, take over the boards, do all sorts of things. So that's kind of the magic that can happen now that GME is an investment vehicle. And my guess is that they will eventually become part of or become themselves the umbrella corporation for all these other entities that are under them, a la Berkshire Hathaway, right? And Berkshire Hathaway sometimes just takes over a company entirely and runs it, or sometimes they just take a good chunk. They might buy 5 to 15%, put some people on the board, run the company how they like, and then skim what they like off of that. So that's my theory as to what Ryan's going to do. But for pretty cheap, you can go get that DK Butterfly, get those gigantic knolls, and then transfer that into your now investment vehicle. So then when you start buying these companies, you're not going to pay tax on the revenue for decades. Right, monkey? Wouldn't that be good? Yeah. You silly little dumb dog and your scratchy little face. Okay. Was that a good explanation there for you, Kelly Reed? Mike Housen, hit the like button. Michael Harold Chupa wants his intro played. Oh, I haven't done the Chupa intro in a while, have I? Probably should. I haven't done the Nuggy Stare one in a while. I need to do those. Tomorrow's show, we'll do that. Speaking of shows, we're going to have Always Sad But Truthful, who is a swap DD master, on Tuesday's show. We'll talk for about an hour or so on Tuesday. Hopefully he'll be able to download all sorts of swap wisdom into me, because my understanding of swaps is still very basic and rudimentary. It seems like every day I learn about some new weird swap that I can't necessarily explain. And so, there's your debt swaps, your equity swaps, your double flipper-do weirdo swaps, and your temporary swaps, and your flippity-flop swaps, and your squib swaps. And so by all means, we'll have Always Sad But Truthful on Tuesday. He's going to give us the lowdown and show us how these swaps work. He's got algorithms going in, I guess, like Bloomberg terminals to like pick them apart and find all of them. And there's a lot. We're talking like trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of liabilities that have been getting dumped all over the world and traded around like hot potatoes, waiting for the music to stop. And no one wants to be the person stuck with them at that point. So I look forward to it because I want to learn, and I hope you guys too. Snort Alert says, oi. Brandon Wells, sub BBBY. We just talked BBBY. John Y, 0% chance Bitcoin goes to 30K. Oh, really? 0% chance? Remember, twice it went to 70 and back down to 18? Now it's at 100. I think it can go to 30. I think it can. If the market falls out of everything, and if all these hedge funds have to sell off all their crypto in order to meet liquidity requirements, that stuff's getting sold off like crazy. Polestar says, yo, Lisa saw that IBKR $1,000 fee to exercise GME warrant only applies if you exercise on the expiration date. I'm unsure how fast the exercise process will take to deliver the shares. Oh, weird. Okay. Well, still, that's a very weird fee in general. So, is you scratching with your phantom leg? Is that what you're doing? Yeah? Okay. Zio guy do with nub. Yo. King Ding Dong. Since you can see the future, why does it burn when I pee? Okay. That's funny. Okay. Lisa Sa, what happens when an influencer loses their influence? They just become just faces in the crowd again, I guess, right? Like where's the Hawk Tua girl? She did a rug pull, got yelled at a bunch, and just was like, peace. And hopefully she's living her best life at this point because I wish the best for her. You know, she had her moment of fame. She sold her Hawk Tua merchandise. She signed a lucrative deal to do a podcast. She rug pulled a bunch of people for a few $1,000,000 on a coin and then just disappeared. You know, it's the American dream, really. I hope she's living the best life right now. Right, Monkey? Wouldn't you like to do that? Yeah. I'm just pissed at myself that I didn't make a stable coin back in the day, so I could just print money legally and cheat people that way. Wouldn't that be fantastic, Monkey? To just print money out of thin air and then live your life how you want and not give a rip about the ramifications it would have on society as a whole. You can just, live in your non-extradition country, sail around on your boat, go back to your mansion, sit in the pool, go skiing in another non-extradition country, do it all anonymously so that people won't even know the name behind it all. It'd just be a great way to go as a Bond villain, really. So, wouldn't you like that, Monkey? Wouldn't that be your thing? Yeah? Okay. She wants more, but no one has offered to get you more. Latinum. When Lehman's and Bear Stearns collapsed, the economy was still fine. When the paper markets froze, that's when everything hit the fan. It's all about liquidity. If the liquidity dries up and the money isn't there to go out and around, then everyone's screwed. So we talked the other day about Jefferies. Jefferies is like an investment bank wannabe. They're like not quite an investment bank, not quite a bank. They're kind of like a shadow investment bank. They do lots of lending and investing and stuff, but it's all kind of sketchy. And what Jefferies has been doing is they lend money to a company. They got a sketchy deal with that company, knowing full well that the board of directors and the CEO and they're all going to give themselves huge bonuses with that cash and not necessarily invest it into branding or new products or research and development or new factories and all that stuff. They're going to enrich themselves. And then Jefferies purchases an insurance policy on that loan, basically saying hey, if this loan doesn't pay off, you give us more money than what this loan is worth. And the insurance companies go, okay, whatever, as long as you pay your policy, right? But Jefferies is doing that with everyone. So go back to 2008, right? And you had a giant insurer named AIG. And AIG insured all of these mortgage-backed securities to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, right? Maybe trillions. It's a huge amount. And when they all failed, AIG was tapped with paying out the policies on every single one of those things. AIG, when they did their math, never figured that every single solitary mortgage-backed security was going to fail. They'd think, oh, maybe this one will fail here and that one will fail there. We'll pay out those and we'll get all this money from the premiums and everything else. It's just like how your auto company, your auto insurance company, doesn't figure that all of a sudden all 60 million of their policyholders are going to get in an accident tomorrow. They think they do the math. They go, okay, we get 2,400 accidents a day, every day of the year. This is the payout. This is what we need to take in as premiums. But if all of a sudden all 60 million of their policyholders get into an accident, they have to pay out more money than the company will ever have. And so what insurance companies do now is they have a reinsurance company. So they get insurance on their insurance. So Jefferies, if all these companies are all doing the same thing, where they're taking loans from Jefferies, they're using that money to pay off their executives and to do weird, shitty things, and they all fail on paying off their bonds all sometime in the next year, then the insurance companies who insured those policies will have to do a giant amount of payouts that they can't afford to do, and liquidity goes whoop from the entire market. Gone. Those reinsurance guys weren't counting on all those policies to fail at the same time, so all their money disappears. And that goes on down the line. Just like 2008. So, yep, that's what we're looking for. John Y responds to Ting Ding Dong. You need to stop sticking your pee-pee and everything, Ding Dong. It's also true. Dang. Chris Taylor, hey there. It just keeps getting more and more effing mind-boggling. Yeah. Polestar, no sweep. We got Crazy Max on the mountain tonight. You guys destroyed you savage. Yeah, we did. I'm waiting to see what Scherzer does. Scherzer is like a psychopath. He is absolutely just competitive weirdo. Like the stories people tell about him on game day is they didn't want to say hello to him because he'll punch you. He is like absolute nutbag. Even through college, I guess he would be like in the gym working out, screaming 100 on like the lat pull down machine because his goal is to hit 100 miles an hour, and he was just like singularly focused on it, and it served him really well for his career. People just don't want anything to do with him on game day, but now he's like towards the end of his career, and he's a grandfather of baseball, and being the complete psychopath may not work anymore in the end. Another super chat from Dig Dig Doink. Yo, spam's gross. Don't eat it. Add the minus. Go Mariners. Okay. Another minus 499. Minus 499. Wait. So much drugs. So much drugs in this paper. It is a seesaw battle since this new loophole has been discovered. I don't know if we're ever going to get. I need to just make like a spreadsheet for this all. And who is messaging so much right now? Got a few minutes left. Is it important? It is. Okay, that's nope. Nope, that's just family messaging me. Okay. Oh no, friends at the Mariners game. So rad. Seats. She's watching batting practice right now. Go Jesse. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I was reading. Polestar sweeps. Destroyed a savage. Ding ding dong. Russia's saying that Trump plans a crypto reset. Sounds ominous, if you ask me. At Trey5, we love bad debts gamers. I don't know what that is. Just Mammy, sorry, Wheat Wild. Apologizing for Wheat Wild not getting caught up in the membership gifting again. I don't know what it is. I don't know why the random number generator at YouTube does not like Wheat Wild. But one of these days, man, what you have to do, there's 239 viewers right now, is that you've got to do like a 240 viewer membership gifting. And that should do it, right? It'd be like, it's like the loophole where, you got 1 in 150 million chance of winning the lotto. And so you go out and you buy 150 million tickets. You're going to win, right? You have 150 million combinations of numbers and you buy all 150 million combinations of numbers, you're going to win. So that's how you got to do the lurker fishing. Just do 200 and something of them and Wheat Wild will be one of them, right? Polestar, wow, missed the gifties when I was switching browsers. Nuts. Trump using bombers near Venezuela. Talk about a Russian-like move of saber rattling. Yeah, they're buzzing the airspace of Venezuela. This week Trump blew up another boat claiming that it was drug runners. And it turns out it was laborers from Trinidad who had been working in Venezuela who were returning to Trinidad. And the boat before that was actually Colombian fishermen and not Venezuelans at all. So it appears to me that these are straight up war crimes being done by Hegseth and et al. In the White House. You have the most powerful navy in the entire world. You've got aircraft carriers and destroyers and cruisers and gunboats and all sorts of things. And you can, if you want, go and intercept one of these supposed drug boats and just arrest the people on board, right? It's pretty easy to do. You've got a big giant cannon and you say, stop, or we're going to blow the shit out of you. And they stop, especially if they're fishermen from a village in Colombia trying to get their catch, right? They're going to be like, whoa, shit, we don't want anything to do with this. And then you arrest them, and then you have your evidence that, hey, these guys were actually drug runners. But they're not. They're just flying Predator drones out there, just zapping anybody in a boat that's moving along, and then claiming that they got some drug runners with zero evidence whatsoever. So, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start a war in Venezuela, do some regime change there because the writing's on the wall. That's going to happen. Kitty cat, pull this pencil out of your butt there. Jimmy D, the Spam is going to taste fine. Add some mustard, add a couple of slices of sourdough. Bon appetit. So Jimmy D is in the pro eat Spam category. Boom. That's right. All right. Okay. Polestar, there was a video showing Trump wants Venezuela's oil and that he was working on that before he left office. Venezuela oil is a really heavy crude. It's lots of sulfur and lead in it. Needs to be heavily refined, and the only refineries in the world that can do it are based in Texas. And so they're going to need billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of investment to rebuild the neglected oil fields and other infrastructure that's there. Venezuela used to produce, 2 million barrels, 2.5 million barrels a day, and now they're producing less than 1 million. And their economy has shrunk 50% since then. So there's going to be a lot of investments, and the Venezuelan people will not be working those jobs. It'll be outside contractors coming in, doing everything that they did leading up to why Chavez got elected. Basically, a lot of the work was being done by international folks, and the Venezuelans themselves weren't getting that work. So Chavez came in, he's like, get the fuck out, international people. These are our oil fields. And he took over the oil fields. And everything was working fine. Their economy was growing like crazy. They had the fastest growing economy in the world. And then Chavez died from cancer, and Maduro took over. And what Maduro did to coalesce power was he did the Trump stuff, where he fired everyone he viewed as being against him from every job in the country. Since the oil fields had been nationalized under Chavez, he fired every person who wasn't a Maduro loyalist, and then took a whole bunch of people who were unqualified and put them into these high technical engineering jobs and etc. And the whole thing just collapsed. Plus, all the sanctions and whatnot that went on top of that. And so there's no expertise left. And all people who were experts have fled the country because they were political enemies and are living here now. So maybe they'll get those jobs back, I guess, if there's regime change going on in Venezuela. But yeah, seems like it's going to be a mess no matter what we do. On that note, it's 4:33. I got to get going. I know it's going to be really slow at work tonight, so I'm just going to be watching the baseball game on a phone anyway. You folks have a great day. I'll catch you tomorrow. And, it'll probably be a nighttime show tomorrow because I think the game is 3 p.m. So I'll see you for an after dark tomorrow. And hopefully I'm in a good mood, right? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Later, skaters. How about the classic? Alrighty. To spam or not to spam? That is the question.